Oh, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I'll make sure all the audio is correct. Looks to be correct. All right. Let's check chat and say hi.
Matt says oh forward slash.
That's working. Oh. So, I missed a whole
Wolf
day
of the
of
Seven
work.
says oh forward slash.
Hey, Wolf. Missed a whole day of work on this printer. I wasn't feeling very well. But it is time to at least throw a few more parts back onto it. So I'm gonna do that. Not feeling the greatest, but feeling like I can at least do work. Got my little helper medication here to help me keep food down. Sorry for that noise. Let's load up. My hair might be a mess, but I'm in a like legitimate I don't give a shit mood. There we go. My beard might be scruffy, my hair might be a mess, but I don't care. All right, we need to measure some stuff here. So on my build guide,
Salos says Matt the fish tail Matt the fish body fish head Matt the say Matt.
hey Sanos, what do we got here? I think maybe we should try and put on the PSU mount first. It says, oh no, it says as low as possible. It's not going to be very possible. I'm going to have to put it up a little higher because I have additions to my power supply.
Salos
So
says how the operate Boeing.
it's going all right. Have you seen the frame? Maybe we should do that next. It's going to be kind of hard to put in. This is one of the ones that might have been a good idea to slide it into place because it's on two angles. But that's the frame. It's really solid. Super solid. What I'm curious about is if the camera is, wow, that's far behind. Hold on. I'm going to refresh the camera because it's just, I was like, is the camera even working? Refresh. Hopefully that fixes it a bit. What do we got? All right, so this, spin this around. Oh, oh. This goes on here. I'm thinking maybe this isn't going to work for me. Huh. I'm just realizing this part needs to push it further out. Okay.
Salos says Len is a one in Tom.
We knew this had happened though.
The Wolf of the Seven says did you repeat the part in gray?
In gray? Some of the parts got reprinted in gray. The Z motor mounts got reprinted because technically they fucked up when I first printed them. They were good enough, but then I eventually decided to reprint them anyways. If you look, oh wow, the camera's really far behind. Wow, my hand just appeared.
The Wolf of the Seven says you said you might reprint something at the end of last stream.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, I did not. Not since last stream. I haven't done much since last stream. So mounting the PSU is going to be different for me. I might need to reprint this bottom piece too. Cause yeah, we mount this all up. So that would mount to there, like that. And then this would be on here. You can, already this piece is colliding. This piece right here. And even without that, this whole thing gets in the way. So, looks like I just actually really just need to reprint this bottom part. Wish the camera wasn't so far behind. I'm gonna reboot the Pi. I think other than that bottom part, it'll work fine. So I'll have to do some measuring,
says okay,
and reprint that bottom part. So yeah. That's a bit of a bummer. It's gonna take a little bit of extra finessing to get that part to work, but the rest of it'll be fine. So I don't even think it's worth putting the part on yet until I'm ready to redesign that other part. I'm gonna have to really think that design through too. It'll all fit, I think. I'm just gonna have to maybe move the position of the switch to one side because right now it's centered. Later, because that's going to take a lot of measuring and mental work. So this goes away. I'm gonna reboot the octo print setup here. Whap. Because the camera is really laggy. Yeah, reboot it. Yeah, that's cool. If we go back to the camera page, it should just be stuck on mostly the last frame. Shouldn't be a long reboot on it though. We'll give it a sec. Oh. Sorry if I'm a bit lethargic and maybe even a little grumpy sounding. I just spent a day being unwell. It was not fun. Supposed to do this stream, what, like 8 hours ago? And it was going to be a much more substantial stream. But we'll do a small stream. I'll put some parts on. We won't get it done, I don't think, but we'll get it done maybe later. I'll take a nap. Come back later and we'll finish it off. Speaking of later. All right. Let's see if that's any better. Hold on. I can fix that. There we go. So we're not going to worry about the other one. The board, honestly, we don't need to be that worried about the board. Where does the board go as far as the printer goes? It goes on the left side of the printer. And it can go pretty low. It shouldn't matter at all. All right. Left side printer, board go facing backwards. So looking at the front of it, the left side is that far side. Okay. There's our left side. So this literally should be able to go pretty darn low. No spacers here. Interesting. Like I could almost put that all the way at the bottom even. Almost. I think I'm going to flip it over. Like that. Okay. Well, let's get that on there. T-nuts. Or square nuts, as the instructions call them. I've always called them T-nuts. What are they? Are those both acceptable terms? T-nuts, square nuts? If someone said square nuts to me, I would assume just a square nut. Whereas these are something different. They have that shape to them. They're not just square. They have like a scoop and a clamp. Zoom or focus. One of the two. Yeah, see, it's not just square. I think it needs a little bit more than just square.
Taylor says T-nuts.
Yeah, T-nuts. Thank you. All right. And I think in order to use gravity to make sure that these things properly engage. What am I sliding on? That.
True Wolf of the Seven says non-hexagonal nuts. That's nuts.
So much nuts. All right, so I'm giving myself just a little bit of room for wires. Whoop. I shouldn't need that much room
True
for
Wolf of the
wires.
Seven says what is this? A Meccano set? Okay. We're not gonna bother putting the board on it just yet. These should be fairly easy. These are going to be a little tougher. Whoop. So in the front corners is where these go. So that one goes there, and this one goes over here. Is that on camera at all? Not really enough. Let's bring it up a bit. So this is one place where I kind of screwed up and probably should have slotted things in beforehand, but that's fine. We'll wiggle it in. We know we can do that. We can manage it. Some T-nuts to put on. Dang you. Do not want to go on. Yawn? It seems like it's on, but it's, there we go. It just was being a little rough. All right. Two more. And here's the problematic part. They're really close to each other and at right angles. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make all those slot in cleanly. If we need to, we can take apart the corners. Come on, get on there. Honestly, been the hardest part of building this thing so far is getting these T-nuts to slot on, to thread on. Okay. So those ones, oh, that one's gonna be fun to mess with. Just getting all the nuts in the right positions. Oh yeah, I can do that. Aha, I can slot it. Ooh,
Just kind of get over top of it and slot it in there. You get slotted. There. Perfect. I was worried, but I'm not worried anymore. I need you to stay on that ridge, though. Can you please stay on it? All right, there we go. And that's engaged well. So this holds one of the smooth rods, and it doesn't hold, but sits. Oh, no. But sits next to. There we go. One of the threaded rods. The threaded rods are allowed to just freestand with this design, which I might adjust. There's no reason that they can't freestand, but I think it'd be nice to put a little bit of a guide on it. All right, and then there's two over here I need to screw in. And luckily I have these nice clear views to make sure that those nuts have properly engaged with the rail, which is good.
Salos says power supply heavy.
Uh-oh.
Lower frame.
Uh-oh, that fell. What? Power supply? Warp frame? Nah, power supply's not even that heavy. I need my tweezers. One of the nuts fell off of the screw or the bolt. Ugh. And rather than pulling it all back apart, I'd rather just pull the nut out.
Salos says not like this nuts.
Okay. I've hooked the nut. Now I need to, there we go. Got it. Just took a little bit of extra thing. Right. Beautiful. Now time to do this corner. Let's nut up. And then I think we're going to put on the motor mounts for the Z-axis. So that's a bit of measuring, but I don't have to put my brain too hard into it. Brain no work right now. Power supply though. Now I'm worried about it being too. It's not that heavy. It's pretty light. Like it's there's not much in there. I don't know if you can see inside of it. It's pretty light. Not much to it. Couple of coils, some big capacitors, a few chips in there. This is only a 12 volt too, so if I do a 24 volt, that might be a little heavier. I'm not worried about it. Not for this build, at least. When we upgrade to the, yeah, like I said, to the new electronics, we might think about it. Maybe getting some new mounting. I might even end up with a new mounting for the power supply anyway, because I have to figure out what I'm going to do about the additions that I have added to the bottom half of the power supply with the switch and everything. So, yeah, that's why we didn't just stick it on. Come on. Get in there. This one does really not want to go on. There we go. Got it. Okay, so I'm just going to line all the nuts. Gonna need this to align that nut.
Theros says no cutting a little off the bit.
I might be able to actually. I'll look into that. If I cut like one side of the like bottom plastic shroud off, that will probably work. All right. Oh, nice. Smooth. All right, because of the problems I had last time, I'm gonna actually flip this and use gravity to help make sure that these little things set up in the right position. And what's cool is this is the first one, so I'm gonna just tighten it up a bit. And if everything worked out, we're stuck. So I don't even have to look at it. I know it's good. This one I will have to look at because there's not enough distance between the two nuts. So sometimes if you got like a big distance between the two nuts, you can pull it up on one edge and be like, okay, well this edge isn't stuck down, but the other edge is. Okay, I have to be careful not to break the bottom piece down here. So this one, I'll have to look under that edge there. Oh, both of these I'll have to look under that edge. I think I got that one though. I think I got that one. That one maybe not, but I think I got it. Let's tighten them both up a bunch. I'm pretty sure I got them. Then we can just flip it over and verify that I did get them. Yep, those both got. All right. That is a guide for my Z rods, smooth rods. On the old instructions here, let's take a look. I want to do Z motor mounts. 25 millimeters from the top of the bottom frame extrusion. So we just measure 25 millimeters up from here, up, and that's where we put it. So I'll make a little mark at that 25 millimeter mark there. Caliper, you're here. Let's lock in 25 millimeters. $25. So it's just below that little connector there. 25 still. Okay, that's okay. Oh, I left the screen up. Not that you could really tell what I did. I put two very small pencil lines on the physical or the vertical riser bits using my caliper. You wouldn't have even been able to even see one anyways. From looking at it now, it's completely off camera because I moved the camera up. I'll have to move that back down. Oh. All right. So I put a couple lines on those so I know where to put the motor mounts. So let's get these motor mounts on. Huh? The holes aren't big enough. Uh-oh. Let's make sure I'm using the right hardware. Oh. So 8. M3 times 20 screws.
The wolf of the 7 says printed holes.
Socket cap screw. M5 times 10. Socket cap. I have the wrong part.
The wolf of the 7 says printed holes tend to be a bit smaller and need drilled out.
They've all been drilled out. I did that. What, 2 days ago now? M510? M510. There we go. I found the correct ones. I need 8 of them. That is 6, 7, 8. These will fit. Just barely, holy shit. Yeah, alright. They fit tight though. That's impressive. Okay. Like the fit is almost exact. It almost looks like an insert.
Pharaoh says nice.
Might. No, that's good too. That's good
The wolf
enough.
of the 7 says almost like it was designed to fit.
Jeez, my tolerances are like egg. Look at that. Like, look at that. There's practically no gap. There's no nuts on this yet, except for one of them. And those are not coming out. Like, gravity is like, nah. Like, they like, when I pushed them in, they had that just like satisfying amount of like pressure to push them in, you know what I mean? But like not too much. Like there was resistance, but like I'll know they'll turn just fine. Okay, doke. But yeah, fits like a glove.
Pharaoh says carrot.
Super satisfying. Too bad you guys couldn't feel that. That was like, it's like, holy crap, that fits well. No! Oh, where did that fall? It what? It didn't go anywhere. I saw it fell right here. Oh, there it is. Oh. Good news is, as much
The
as
wolf
you
of the 7
guys
says more nuts.
don't get to
Pharaoh says lost the
experience
nut.
it, I get to experience it again. Maybe you should have hit this part with a heat gun. Oh, it just feels good. They just fit perfectly. I know I've really spent time kind of honing in my 3D printers, but that's nuts. That's ridiculous how well that fits. These are easier to thread. Those button cap screws are not as nice as these ones. For some reason, these just thread on much nicer. Except for that. There. Except for that one. Dang it. There we are. Everything is aligned. I'm going to flip this up. Set that on that. Might have to use a mirror to double check around this corner. I want to push that down to be perfectly aligned. There we go. In camera, enough. As much as it can be, it's kind of a bad angle for me and for everything. Oop, did that move? That's good. I think I got that first one to engage. Good. All right. Now I can just see these two through this little gap down here. Oh, that's perfect. The top ones are going to be easy to look at because I can just look from the top. Really easy tell if they've properly engaged with the rail. And, because it's dark though. Oh shit, I might need a mirror for that one too. Oh no, they both engaged. Okay. Oh, wrong one. At least the other side should be a lot easier to see. It's not too close, right? Yeah. The other side will be a lot easier to see. There's not a lot of room for me to tighten this one. Again, you'll get to see it when I come to the other side a little bit better. Because it's literally mirror opposite. Alright, did those engage? That one looks like it did. This one is like impossible for me to tell, but I'm gonna say it did. It felt like it did. And try pulling. Oh yeah, that definitely did. I was just saying I could try pulling up this corner to take a look, but that corner was very, very much down and not coming up. Ooh, sorry for bonking the mic, but it has to happen. So the one that I can't check is this one. So it's going to be the first one I put it on this side. I can't check it by looking, and it's the only one I can't check by looking. It's very convenient that I can check it by putting it in. Oh gee. Just move the mic out of the way a little bit, because this is a little bit of a finicky situation. Please say you engaged. This feels like it did. It feels like it's not wiggling. Yep. Okay, cool. And come on. Just going to tighten this one up quite a bit. There we are. So these two top ones, I'll be able to look at them. And this bottom one, I can look at it through the little gap here. That felt like I screwed it for a little while longer, which could mean that one didn't get engaged. It probably did though. Yeah, judging from that one, that last one did too. But doop, what are you doing, phone? What do you want? Sorry, I can move my mic back now, so the audio quality can be at least a little bit better. I gotta call my mom back. She called me on Thursday. I still haven't called her back. I'll do that later. I don't know what she called. She left me a message just being like, I want to talk. And then, oh, thanks, Satos. Appreciate those likes. I did just talk to her recently. It was just Mother's Day.
Called her on Mother's Day. God, Mother's Day is just a big old circle jerk. Friggin', it's us wishing our mothers Mother's Day, and then our mothers wishing Angela Mother's Day back. It's just everyone's wishing each other else Mother's Day. I guess it's kind of the same on Father's Day. Call up my dad, wish him Father's Day. He wished me Father's Day. It's a big old circle jerky of Father's Days. Those look pretty darn even. Let's double check.
0 says just a day to me.
Yeah. Yeah. 25.9 and 26.8. Which one do I want to move? I think I want to move this one down. Yeah, 26.7. So I want to move this one just a little less than a millimeter down, right? Because it's about 26. Yeah. Where's the line? Oop. Okay. I'm going to put a new line so that I know that I'm actually moving it, because I don't actually see the other line. Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak. Needs more of a squeaker. All right. Oop. So there's going to be a good chance some of these don't re-engage after this, but that's fine. I'll re-engage them. 26.2, 25.9. That's what the other side was, right? 25.9. Oh, 26 is basically 26. What are we at here? 26.1. Yeah, about 26. Okay. Now, without moving anything, I need to tighten one of these up to the point where it actually engages. I don't think that one engaged. Maybe it did. It did. Are we still at 26? 26. 26 here. 26 here. Okay. Which one did I tighten up? I think I tightened up this one, so
do this one next. I'll just hit that with a nice tight, and we'll double check that it engaged. Gonna need a bit of extra light down there. It engaged. Okay. In fact, that other one's already like twisted on to the edges, so that one's already engaged. So interesting. So I was able to actually slide it in the rails. I didn't know that. It seemed like it was too tight to do that before. So just tighten everything down, and we should be good to go. And again, this one I can look at as well. Now, theoretically, I should be able to put my Z motors in here. In theory. Z motors go here. Ooh, we never tightened that one up all the way. Okay. Sadly, I can't check that one, but from what I just felt there, it feels like it engaged. And this one I can check, so I'm going to check this one real quick. Yeah, that's good. All right, again, got this once more. There. Okay. Just to be 100% sure, I'm going to measure them each once more again. That's 25, 9, 26. 25, 9. All right. 25, 9. Good enough. All right, so the Z motors go in there. That close or far? That's close. No, that's close. Okay, so close. Oh yeah, we're good. And then far. Yeah, I can slide those in there. That's okay. I'm not gonna put them in yet, just because I'm gonna save the electronics for last because I'm bashing things around. Honestly, don't know that I even should have put this bit back here on yet. Oh well. What's next? Vertical rods go here. I don't know if these are open enough to accept the vertical rods. I might need to drill these. These I did not drill. Oh, and these vertical rods need to be cleaned. Oh, okay, so that might need some work. It's weird because it's slitted, so it should, oh, that's dirty. Should be able to go in fairly easily, but yeah. No, we'll drill those out. Make it a little easier. Or I could just spend some time trying to jam it in, because it looks like it will go eventually. But drill. We're going to get those rods real greasy one day before we put that part of it all back together. So what does the instructions say to do next? Or, you know, sort of next. Because again, we're doing a lot of this out of order. Oh. Let's see. Okay, so we haven't put the bed on yet. Attach rods and lead screws. We're skipping that step. We'll do that later. I don't want to bend my rods or lead screws while I'm assembling the outer frame. Although I think we're pretty much done. We didn't put that on yet. We can put that on. Yes. Oh, the LCD. Yeah, we can do that.
It fits very snugly. Actually, that's another thing that lets me know, like, the tolerances on my thing are, like, bang on. Check this shit out. Or the calibration, I should say. That's the front plate. That's the front plate we printed with the board in it. Like, it's pretty friggin' seamless how well it all fits. Like, the buttons all are clear and good to move. And, like, it fits friggin' perfectly in there. It's nuts how well this. That's the A8 in the background that's printed all this. This baby back here printed all that stuff. This we should reprint in silver, but for now, whatever. So we'll put that together. As I kick my camera. All right, let's take a look at the instructions. That seems pretty easy. What is the hardware? The really long, there should be some really long hardware here. M5 times 10 doesn't seem right. Oh, M3 LCD mounting screws from the A8. Hey, yeah. Do you know the length of those screws? Because that would be really helpful. Do you know how much M3 fucking hardware I pulled off of that printer? I don't know which one's fucking was for mounting the hardware. Hold up. Hold up. Fucking.
The 12 of the 7 says M3 nuts don't really have a length. Devos says
I'm
button with thumbs up okay.
just gonna look up the ANET assembly guide for the A8. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to LCD, nope. We did all of this recently in reverse. Where do you hook up the display? Whoa, okay, we made it to the end. I missed the display. I see the bit there where we're hooking up the board. Okay, there should be a bit in here about screwing the display in. This is talking about building the frame still. Okay, we'll just have to go through. Or I guess there might be a table of contents that we could read. Maybe? Nah. We'll just skip through the whole assembly guide. I know all of this. I did all of this. Oh, here we go. M3 times 30. That's important to note. It's a long motherfucking screw. Also, it's not like button ended, it's taper ended. Okay. Good to fucking know. Four of them. And yeah, like I have like 10 of these things. Looking through this pile over here. So it'd be good to know, because like I don't just have four of them, you know what I mean? Alright, I'll just put this over here. I don't need the spacers. And that way it'll be ready for the construction, and there should be some parts I can put over there. Okay. Everything is on the desk and ready to go. Looking here, I think I know what we need to do here. There's these little holes that I need to slide the nuts into.
And then I need to screw the hardware through. Oh, 30, like, is it going to be too much for this? I have shorter ones. I do have shorter ones. Oh, the LCD has to be in there. Good news, it is already, so. Oh, no. Remember how I said I had to call my mom? My mom's calling. Alright, I should answer this. Tell her I'll call her back in a few. Mums. They're great. Lots of news. Holy crap. Did she ever have a lot going on to tell me? My Uncle Rod is pretty sick. My Uncle Alex is dead. Those are some new developments. That'll be fun. My parents are about to go on a 4-day road trip to Calgary. That's nuts.
Delos says Lino, it's okay.
Right? Just random dropped on me. I mean, yeah, I guess people don't die on a schedule, right? All right, so I'm gonna keep this picture up for me, but you guys get to look at the print job, the actual screen. Sorry, the screen. The what do you call it? Scene in XSplit is called print job. Okay, so that's how they've got it there, and then so this one goes on this side. All right, so these are the long boys. But yeah, fun. trip to oh, trip to Calgary. Where did that go? It's good that I have extra. Oh, there it is. Hup. Okay. So that's this side. So this is this side. So I need to get those nuts in there. These nuts. Get in there. Come on. Get on in there. Get in there. Come on. There you are. Okay. So now, oop, don't come out. Let's put that one in first. It's the one that's loose. That should be enough to hold that. Good. We'll stick this one in. Make sure we don't lose the nut. It's a little bit. There we go. I can get it now. And a screwdriver is another thing I'll need to get. Oh, here it is. Whoa! Whoa! I'm dropping the webcam or the wireless cam. Oh, there we go. Wait, is this? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just freaked myself out like I was doing it backwards. That sticks out quite a bit. Oh, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's not near the frame. Okay. I can use a much smaller thing here. Do I have one that's small enough? I need to see how far that's going to be off the table. There and there. Okay, it's off the table at least. All right. And we need the wire holder too. We need to put that on. Okay. So let's put our captive nuts in. Welcome to Nutstream, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it. It's the stream where we just talk about nuts all day. Maybe the almonds and cashews from my snack packs, or tea nuts and hex nuts and all the other type of nuts that come with building the 3D printer. Just all about nuts here. It's a lot of nuts.
Says nuts, the printer.
The story of
Wolf of the
Plogon,
Seven
a
says nuts,
journey of
the
nuts.
printer, the stream.
That nut is not sitting flat. Thus, I cannot thread the bolt into it. Might have to stick my my tweezers in here. Get that thing to sit flat.
Wolf of the Seven says nuts to a whole nother bag.
a nut's tail there and back again. Now the nut seems to be jammed. Okay, so this whole thing did not get printed straight. Thread? Thread! It's threaded.
7 says the knot state.
See that fanciness where my tweezers stayed jammed in there? Is that on? That should have been on screen. Like a freaking surgeon over here. Clamps. Okay, well that's the screen. Ooh. Almost just drove the screwdriver directly into the screen. Wouldn't be so bad, the screen is already freaking destroyed, but it'd still not be great. I think there's been too many cold winters out here, and the screen's been done too much thermaling back and forth between hot and cold. It's kind of blown out. Must be connected with these. It's weird because when you look at it from the side, you can read it perfectly, but when you look at it from head on, it's like the viewing angle moved to the side of the LCD. When you look at it head on, it's just a big glare. Alright, so this is ready to assemble, but because it's a LCD that's already broken, I don't know that I'm going to put it on the printer just yet. But the whole thing is ready to stick on when we're ready. I think I'm going to put the bed on first, and then I'm going to throw all the electronics and stuff on. Because all the electronics go with it like up and down, right? Or straight, like standing. Whereas a lot of this other stuff I'm doing, I'm putting it on its side and stuff. But yeah, that's the whole assembly ready to just stick on the front when we're ready. Yeah. I don't know, there's a lot left to do. So this is going to be attached here. I'm literally thinking I just cut this off 40 mil. And when I redesign this, I literally just move this 40 millimeters that back this way. I even keep this in place because this I guarantee is going to line up, yeah, with that. I just make sure it's a 5 millimeter hole. When I designed this, I designed it smart. Yeah, that will work. Can you guys see this? Yeah, that'll do. It just doesn't fit right now because of this. This needs to be out of the way. Which also means, yeah, that will.
Says yay.
So what I'm, Okay, so putting that there. It's actually going to be there. So we should just cut the whole side off of it. For now, that's what I can do. Just chop it off. And then we can redesign it later. How far do I have to chop it though? Because it's here. I can even leave that front leg on it. Basically, right where that front leg tapers back to. The line I need to cut is pretty much right there. Let's mark that. Cool. Is this screwdriver small enough? Oh, no, it doesn't even need a screwdriver. That's hex. That's hex. Ba ba ba. I think it's this one. That's a tiny little hex. I am going to put that back in the hole.
The Wolf of the Seven says hex. That's nuts.
I really don't want to rewire this all, but there's no way to get this off of here without pulling these. I can keep them in order. It's blue, black, and then brown at the bottom. Oh, come on off. Oh god, this thing is stuck on there. Oh god, I'm gonna break the plastic just trying to get this off. Alright, huh. I don't think I can pull it through like on an angle. I could just cut it on here, but then I have to put a new one on. I have to be able to pull those off. I guess I'll go get a pair of pliers.
The Wolf of the Seven says blah. Zeros says blue black brown.
Well, we might end up remaking this part anyways. I might just break it. Holy crap, why can I not get that off? Big flat-ended
The
screwdriver.
Wolf of the Seven says just like a traffic light.
Big honking flat-ended screwdriver. That one might be big enough. Hold on, I got a bigger one though. I'm pretty sure of it. Alright, let's just try this one. I don't know, I'm gonna get the middle one. Come on off. It's like most of the way off. There we go, okay. So there's blue. There's numbers on here. Can't get the light. 1, 2, 3. So 3 was the blue, white, and then black is 2, and brown is 1. Okay, that one came off a lot easier. Oh, this one's being a toughie. Oh, there's nowhere to get the screwdriver under it. It's making a plastic noise that I do not like. Alright, I have the pliers. I can try and get the screwdriver in from the side. Or I have the pliers to try too. God, these things are just stuck on there. Got it. Okay. Oh, come on. You moved most of the way. Alright. I'm going to hate myself for this later, but I'm just going to hook it all back up right away. So I don't have to remember all that stuff. Brown on the bottom, black in the middle, this guy on top. Okay. So this needs to get cut. Why do I not feel like cutting that right now? That will fit now. All right, just for sizing reasons, let's put it on here. Not sure which screws I meant to use. I think it's these ones. Oh, that's barely though. All right. sure these screws go in these holes. Oh, I think it's meant to be that hole. Yeah, they do. All right. So whenever you're doing this, make sure. Oh, there is a gap. I might have fucked up. This might have been okay all along. I might just need to cut that tag off the side. The little screw hole. What's fun about all of this is I don't really plan on installing this with this on. I'm going to put this leg back on so that I stop tipping that. I have to remove this in order to install it, but we're just sizing things. Won't screw it in too tightly as a result. Look, there's a gap there. For some reason, I feel like we could get pretty darn low. For some reason, I don't feel like I want to put like the metal touching the metal. I don't know if I trust the power supply enough. What am I reaching over here for? Oh, this. Well, shit. That'll be fine. I just need to cut this little tag off. Okay. I didn't need to remove any of that. Well, actually, to cut this, it's probably best that it's removed from the power supply, and I'm not cutting near the power supply. Ah, oops. Okay, so this is fine. We just need to cut this off, and it'll be fine.
Says easier.
Yeah, way easier instead of cutting all the way along there, which would have been okay too. It would have been good enough, at least for now, until I design a new one. Even now, I'm like, I can still design a new one that looks nicer, and we'll print it with the space gray. It'll look cool. So yeah, not cutting it there anymore. Cutting it just there. That'll be easier. Okay, I have a plan. We'll do that. Again, we might actually just be at that point. Is there anything else to put onto the frame that is not on the frame yet? Let me check the box. Well, there's the end stops and the rod holders and so there's a vertical X or Z. What do you Z end stop? We should install that. Okay. Let's see here on the screen. Has the end stop been installed at this point? Can't see. Show me the front of the printer. Yes. Is it installed here? No. Okay. End stop mount printed. Oh, should I install the end stop? Nah, they're just installed with screws that like just self tap or self thread, well, both into the into the plastic, so that should be fine. Okay, so literally just put it. Yeah, that makes sense because I'm gonna have to move the ZN stop when the printer is kind of set up. And like when I drop the actual head down, I need to kind of know when abouts the nozzle is at the bed, for this printer. And that's where I'll have to set the end stop. But I can at least install it, or at least the holder for it.
But yeah, we might have to shift it down a little bit in the future. Or we could just wait to install it once we get the x-axis on, which, I mean, wouldn't be that hard. I believe in this point, yeah, they have you install the stepper motors in this step, and then they have you install the rods and everything here. All right. What is the diameter of those rods? I guess I'll measure them. You guys see where I put my caliper? Oh, I see it. Thanks. What is the diameter on you? I think they're what, like 8, I thought, but this says looks like more than 8. No, 7.9, 8. So they're 8. I gotta find the correct drill bit.
Sir Wolf of the Seven says all I see is words.
Oh yeah. The camera isn't facing that way. Or the camera's not up. Is this 8? 6.3. God, I don't know if I have a drill bit big enough. That's a wood bit. Well, it's possible the holes are smaller. Where? Yeah, I don't think I have an 8mm drill bit. I have a 6.3mm drill bit. I could maybe just ream out the hole with that. I wonder how fast I can get an 8mm drill bit. Because I was planning on not finishing this right now anyway. Let me check Amazon real fast. Oh, 8mm drill bit. Well, no, I don't. It doesn't have to be nice. And for plastic, honestly, the metal drill bits work really good for plastic.
Sir Wolf of the Seven says apparently 8mm is close to 5/16th.
I don't have a 5/16, I don't think. Let me, hold on. I think I got one more kit to go check. Hold up. I mean, I say hold up. I'm wearing a headset and you're coming with me because I'm going to the garage, which is about 5 feet away from where I was just operating.
David says Caratier.
All right. Let's see what's in this drill bit case. All right. All right. Oh, God. Maybe that one? These are not sorted correctly or anything. That's not 8. That is, again, 6.5, 6.6. Is this one 8? 8.2. I don't really want them to be loose, but this one's going to be like 8.5, isn't it? 8.9. Oh, 9.1. So I have an 8.2. Say, do we just try it maybe? Oh, I kicked the camera big time. We'll have to reset that when I turn it on.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Let's run the 8.2 drill bit through it. What's the worst? We ruin the part? Oh no, what'll we do then? How will we get a new one? Instead of spending money on stuff, the donations have been spent. There is very little money left in. Oh, come on. This case sucks. In the old printer fund. So let's save a few bucks. There. And we'll use the slightly off-size drill bit. I have already put a lot of my own money into this too. Maybe a little too much, but it's a fun project. Now, because this is a plastic and that's a drill and friction, some of this stuff gooped into the cracks. I'm just going to cut that out. You might have to loosen that hole up a bit too. Thing is, it doesn't go all of the way through. Could just try to press fit it in there. Anyways, those rods need cleaning, so. But that seems like it's going to be good because I can cinch these as well. So I can tighten this back up. Oh, I'm still on the BRB. I was wanting to show you this part. Hold on, I gotta switch away from my primary screen just in case I accidentally throw that up because it was on my Amazon. We're on BRB because of the Amazon. So I drilled out these top bits so that I could actually fit these rods in. And it's a little looser than maybe it should be, but I get to cinch these up with some M3 hardware. What I'm talking about not quite fitting is, whoop, there's little holes down here and over here. It's not really, it's sort of in there on this one. Oh yeah, it's actually really in there on this one. But yeah, wonder if I can. I think I might have a heavier vinyl hammer too, actually. Hold on.
Through Wolf of the Seven says heat rod melt into place.
Oh, that, yeah, I could do that. I have what looks to be a giant rubber, oh, what's that? Giant rubber hammer. Also, I have an IQ, oh, it's a charger. Oh, I want that. Is there any more of that shit in there? Random charger? Alright. Found a random charger in a bag in the garage. Yeah, I have this. But I also have a nylon hammer that I think would be better. Not sure where the nylon hammer is. My little 3D printed hammer, not heavy enough, I don't think. Well, there's another rubber mallet. Why do I have so many rubber mallets? It's all rubber mallets all the way down. Yeah, I don't know where my nylon hammer is, but if you need a rubber mallet, I've got two that I know exactly where they are. Well, good news is I have a 3D printer, and if I was desperate for a nylon hammer, I can just print a nylon cap for one of my normal hammers, which I might do that. It means popping the nylon out, and there's something wrong with my dehydrator, so it might not be the prettiest print, but it'll work. So I might print some nylon hammer caps for the next, for like the final like assembly, just so I can bang, bang, bang those into place. I don't want to do it with the rubber mallet because the rubber mallet will get destroyed by this. Rubber mallets are cool. Still F you up, but you know, they're rubber. Do not know where my nylon hammer is, but it's fine. I can just use a regular old carpentry hammer with a nylon cap on it.
The Wolf of the Seven says put a piece of scrap wood and hammer the wood.
Yeah, I could do that too. But that doesn't involve 3D printing in the solution. Remember, I'm trying to justify the fact that I own 4 3D printers. Well, 3 right now, 3 in a pile of parts. I don't have 4 3D printers right now. A couple things we can do. I'm just kind of
The Wolf of the Seven
finishing
says
up.
3D print a piece of scrap plastic and hammer the plastic.
That's going to go there. I guess I can at least... True, I do have a bunch of scrap plastic I could just jam in there. It's not quite the same thing as nylon, but yeah. Probably crack the plastic, but it's scrap. Who cares? I'm just preparing this. We're not going to put it on yet, but much like the LCD screen, might as well have it ready and nut it up. This is the end stop for the Z-axis. It's going to be installed right on here. Could install it now, could install it when I install the bed and I know what height I want it to actually be at. So I'll do that instead. Same with these. These are all the rod holders for the Y-axis. This one has the end stop for the back. And we'll install those like when it comes time, but we might as well nut them up. Today we're just doing some of the busy work. Hopefully I'll be good tomorrow and we can do like the final assembly. I've already put some of the hardware in these, a little M5 hardware for cinching the rods in. Just easy stuff for my poor, frail, frickin' body. It was a day I didn't eat anything for like a whole fucking day.
The Wolf of the Seven says might need to stream somewhere else if you keep talking about nutting things.
Welcome to my OnlyFans. OnlyFans or ChatterBait? Where do you think I should go? Recently I learned the brand name of the like web connected dildos or vibrators. I forgot though. Need to get me one of those. Forgot what they were called. I forget why I know. Oh, it's because I was watching a Funhouse thing. I think it's John Smith from Funhouse. Knew the
Ilshik
brand
says
name
you
of
watch
those.
the Love Sense.
Love Sense. Yes, that was it. Get a Love Sense. We'll duct tape it to my nuts while we play with all these nuts. Okay. Next is, oh, I wanted to do this. So that's the end stop. We can nut this up, but this, not only do we want to nut it, I think we need to, no, it looks like it's been drilled.
The Wolf of the Seven says just print
Does it?
the Plogon
No, we're going to
folder.
drill this. We're printing a hoo-hoo with the what? One of these two drill bits. Yeah, that one. Oh, Jesus. There we go. It was on there tight. Tweet, tweet. I don't know if I should go for the next largest one up or not. Glad the Chuck can grab that. Yeah. That'll make it through. I feel like I should clean that too, though. These bearings are pretty dirty. Yeah. We'll give them a good wipe down right now. We'll grease everything up later. Ooh. A little bit of elbow grease will clean that up. Just grime. Nothing too bad. All right. Where the parts go. There we go. It's going to go through there. What is that? That's a... I'm going to use a different part than this. This is what we were using before, but number one, it's much longer than it needs to be. Way longer. And two, it's got a recessed sort of thing. We don't want that. That's too short. It's M3, right? Hold on. We should have M3 by 25 on here. And these are button heads. Still not long enough, though. Holy crap. Oh, that's only M320. Oh, alright. Well, I guess we're just using one of those and dealing with the fact that it's not really the right shape, but oh well. Here's the screwdriver. There it is. So this is the tensioner for the Y-axis belt. I'm going to be spinning this for a while. Okay. Let's put the first bearing on. Just get a tiny ridge and get that second bearing on there. Just a little further. Yep. Okay. Let's pull this off. I haven't been putting my tools away. That's a little tensioner bit right there. So I'm untensioning it so that I can push it all the way in so that I have a bit more bendage to work with. bend it out a bit more. All right, I'm just going to screw this off a bit. I gave myself too much of a lip. Get on there. There we go. We're on there. This should. I just don't want to twist this while I do it. Where through are we at this point? Not even all the way. Okie dokie. We got a little while to go. There we are. We should be going through the plastic at this point. There we go. I feel it coming out there. This friggin' bolt is so long. I should have just put a bit into the drill and used that. Holy crap. Doing this by hand was the wrong choice. Okay, so that's basically threaded itself into the plastic because the hole was a little too tight, which is fine. It's actually, it doesn't matter because the only part that needs to move is, you know, the spinny bit. So we'll just go ahead and throw a nut on that. And that is our tensioner. Does not want a nut. There we go. I guess I should put a washer on that and a nut. There we go. Let's twist that back out a bunch. Actually, I'll use this one. Oh, went the wrong way. Tension it. There we go. So as I spin this, oh, I drop it. So as I spin this, the screw pushes the gap wider, which pulls the other side shorter. And that's your tensioner. More hardware. Just a lot of hardware. Seemed a bit wonky, but it seems like it's probably going to be okay. Check out my wonky nuts. Okay. That's ready to be installed. When we figure out where it needs to be installed. That's ready, that's ready, that's ready. Anything else to prep? Oh, this. And I think this is it. Oh, there's also supposed to be the wire holder on the back. You can get that installed. Just back middle. So this is the motor mount for the y-axis. Goes right back here somewhere. My phone dinging. I'll know where it goes when I put the bed on. Yeah, oh, it was me. Hold on. She's like, somebody tried to hack my Apple account. No, I just tried to watch Apple TV, and it's like, oh, we're sending the code to your device. Enter it now. I'm like, I don't got the device here right now, so I just ignored it. I was gonna ask her for it later.
David says lol.
But yeah, just like, because we have it on the app, like it should just work. I shouldn't prompt me for any login or anything. It's just on. It's on the friggin' system on the TV. Like, you just there it is. All right, that's all that stuff done. I think she messaged back. What'd she say? It wasn't you. Oh, she blocked me. Oh no. That's our IP, honey. If you blocked that when you get home, shit ain't gonna work. Um. Oh well. We'll cross that bridge. When it comes. Uh. Okay. Well, I guess.
David says Nikanen Nervasiv.
Hopefully it's not IP based, or yeah, she's gonna have to go cellular data in order to fix that. Imagine that. You ban an IP from accessing your Apple devices, and then you go home and none of your Apple devices work all of a sudden. Weird. Weird. That's funny. All from me just pressing a button to watch Apple TV on one of our boxes. So I think I'm done building for now, and then I want to take a break. But we have made progress and done some of the fiddly bits. Still have a few fiddly bits to do, but some of them are done. But definitely progress has been made. We have basically the Z-axis is ready to go. Motors, rods, all ready to be installed. It's the bed that is going to be the next fiddly bit. Luckily, the X-axis comes as a friggin' unit. This thing is my X-axis. Still works too. Voot, 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 voot. But yeah, it's gonna come all as one for this first set of upgrades. I just lost an end stop. Oh, come back here, end stop. I don't even know which end stop this is. This must be the Y-axis end stop. Because the X-axis end stop is on the X-axis assembly that I just showed you. And the Z-axis is down at the bottom. Huh. Alright, I gotta wash my hands. Where is... I can just use water. I know it's greasy, the alcohol would probably be best, but I'm gonna dry my hands out. Water and a paper towel will get the majority of it off, and I'll do soap and water when I get inside. Oh, but yeah. Sadly, I wanted to do a stream last night, but that really didn't work for me when last night came around. And I wanted to be way more, complete than we are now, but I feel like the rest of this is going to be pretty easy. Now that we figured out the power supply, like I say, the most annoying thing is just going to get the bed. Get that bed on there and centered. And it doesn't even need to be perfect, but I'm going to be a little bit perfect about it. Honestly, I could measure so that the belts, like literally put the belt tensioner on first, and then I could use that to align everything else, because then I could just make the belt tensioner perfectly centered, because that's where the belt is. It is perfectly centered down the machine center. So just measure either side, and just the belt is annoying to build from, but I could just, I'm just gonna measure it all. I wonder if these instructions actually say the distances. Uh, Yeah, they're not really telling me the distances.
Pyro says WTH is a samoplane.
The fuck is a samoflange? I don't know, but keep your damn foot off that samoflange. So it's at that point it says leave them loose so that you can slide them back and forth. So at what point do we actually install the bed? What happened in that render? Something funny going on with that rod. As a Z motor mounts and motors attached verticals, simple Z rod holder, simple. If the rods are cinched in, the bed has to be on them already. Huh. Huh. Oh, at what point does this have me install the bed? Because I've done it out of order. Because the order it wants me to do it in is a little silly. Mount Y rod and bed. Really, right here. Alright. I'm thinking I should take my smooth rods and maybe spray them down with some WD. Get them clean. WD is a penetrating oil. It's not, I mean, a lot of people use it as a lubricant and it can lubricate a little bit, but it's a penetrating oil. So I'm gonna let the WD hopefully penetrate into any, hopefully there's no rust, but any other grime that might be on my smooth rods or my threaded rods, and hopefully pull that off. So that's, I'm gonna spray those down after I shut things down here. I think I'm just gonna put them out in the garage or outside. Maybe fully outside. I don't want to smell like WD-40 all day. Hey, Pyro.
Hey, Matt.
Let those soak in some WD-40 for a few hours and then go at them with a rag and just really elbow grease all the grime off of them. Some grime on those babies. What grease do most people use on their 3D printers? Do they use that white silicone grease stuff? Is that good for linear bearings? I've been using sewing machine oil. It's very thin, and it's been working really well for me. It's also what I had. I have too many sewing machines. Yeah, I sew. One day maybe we'll make something cool, and then we'll sew a cover for it. So yeah, the bed was literally supposed to be added a long time ago. Um, Literally, this is what the frame was supposed to look like when we added the bed. So you can see why maybe I didn't do that. Maybe like look at how many times I've just picked this frame up and like wrenched it around and put it on its side. And if there was a bed on there, it would just be sliding back and forth every time I moved it. Like, and yeah, when I'm using those T-nuts, I like to use gravity to like if gravity's pulling the nut down, it won't engage until the last moment, which is kind of a good thing. Because if it engages too early, it can actually just bind up and not rotate, and then it can just fill the slot sideways rather than grabbing onto the edges of the slot. I don't know if I explained that well, but yeah, it didn't make sense to me to put any of like the moving hardware onto the frame before the frame was built. Because I knew building the frame, I was going to be moving it all around. But though, yeah. You've seen this frame? It's fucking solid. It is ridiculously solid. I guess that's what happens when you make a frame out of 2040 extrusions. None of this is 2020. It's all 2040. Even the my A8 back here. This is 2040, this is 2040, this is 2020, this is 2020. So like even this isn't all 2040. And the ender, the bit at the top, 2020, 2040, and then 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40 for like the base. The base on the enders is fucking thick. It's a thick boy on these ender bases. Look at these. Oh, 40, 40, bitches. So enders have a really nice frame on them. I'll give them that. But still, there's some 2020 going on at that top. This thing, ridiculously rigid. Like, I'm gonna have to tie this. I'm gonna have to tie it down. This has a bit of wobble because it's so tall. This, nothing. The frame on those enders, the 4040 aluminum extrusion, is a little overkill, but I love it. I love it. It's like an H frame though, and I'm making a full square box, which is probably stronger structurally. At least I think it is. As much as they do use 4040, but their frame consists of two going like depth, like down, like into the table. I don't know, depth, and then one across, like an H. I don't know what's better. I like my frame. It's good. This guide, not the best, but it was a really good starting point for building your own frame. Nice. So yeah, last time I said gave an estimate as to when this is going to be up and running. That estimate was about right now. I said we'd have it probably up and running by right now. Whoops. Next time. Next time. Tonight. I'm gonna get some sleep. 'Cause I haven't slept. I'm gonna get some sleep. And then after I get some sleep, we should be able to put the bed on this. I'm gonna cut. Oh, before I go to sleep, I gotta make sure I spray those rods down with some WD. That should be easy enough, though. Tomorrow we'll, or tonight, maybe even. Tonight or tomorrow. We'll get this thing put together. I haven't done the nylon. What about the nylon cap for a hammer? Whatever, we'll just use the wood method that Wolf mentioned. Let's use a block of wood. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Or a piece of scrap plastic or something. We have a few pieces actually of scrap plastic we can use. Some thick ones from some failed the failed Z motor mounts. We can use that. Honestly, I could just tape that to the end of the hammer. It'll work. I have a 3D printed hammer, but it's too light. I need to print a new one, but with a heavier head. I have nylon too. I should print my own nylon. If I can't find my nylon hammer, I'm gonna print a new nylon hammer head. It'll be good. Ooh, I could even make it like, no, I could still do it. So like nylon hammers, generally, I guess they pour the nylon into molds. So the head is generally like there's this metal uh, bit, which is the center of the head of the hammer, and then the nylon things screw into it, almost like a nylon, like what looks like a foot, like the little yellow foot that we have on these printers, or the black one on the printer behind there. But yeah, it looks like a little nylon foot, and it screws into that little the circle bit on the head. And then yeah, so there's usually two, one on either end, and you screw them on either end. I could do that, but I could do the opposite, where I embed a nut into the nylon print, and then have this a bolt that I screw that onto. I was thinking I was gonna say I could embed a bolt into the nylon print, but then I was like, then the head has to avoid it, and it won't be able to get like the nozzle won't be able to get tight around the edge of the bolt. I could do it. I could do it, but wouldn't work. I think very well, if at all. I would. It would have to like as soon as the bolt gets put in, the hole would have to become much larger so that the nozzle could get around it, and the bolt couldn't be very long either. But if it's a nut's flat. Wait for the print to get up to the point where it finishes printing the hole for the nut, and then have it pause. I can put the G code, so have it pause at that layer and even move the head out of the way for me. And then I can put the nut in, and then press the OK button, because you can tell the printer to wait for you to press OK. And then with G code. So you put the nut in, press OK, and then the print head will come back down and get back to work. So I could do that. Not before, not for this job. This is like another idea. I'm just now I'm just in ideas mode. I put the project down for the day, and I'm just thinking about other stuff. Thinking about ways to print my own nylon hammer. I could just, I mean, it's a 3D printer. I could just print the entire hammer out of nylon, handle and all. Why not? I think I might just do that. It's the whole thing, just all nylon. Layer adhesion on nylon is wild. So, um, Yeah, it'll be great. I could print it laying down, and layer adhesion's amazing, and it would be on the strong layer like lines, so there'd be no real weak points, and just one solid piece of nylon. I'd make the handle semi-hollow, like infill style semi-hollow. Like the handle wouldn't be solid, but the head would have to be solid, and part of the handle where it starts nearing the head would have to be pretty solid. But as you got further down the handle towards where your hand is, I can actually reduce the infill from 100% to something a little lower. Or I could just cut a hole. Leave the infill at 100%, but just have a little oval cut out of the center of the handle. I don't know. Maybe that's something I can do sometime before or after I work on the plastic shredder, which is might happen in between the print stuff, because as I mentioned before, we don't really have a lot of funding left for the printer. So the power supply replacement, the board replacement, the belt replacement, and the head replacement, uh, can't really afford to do any of that yet. So we're gonna build it with the parts we have. We can get it fully functional with what we have. I don't know if we're gonna be able to print out 1,000 millimeters a second with what we have, but we're at least done the first step, and that's making a frame that can handle those sort of stresses. So while I wait to earn a bit of extra money from the old Twitches and patrons, uh, we can do some stuff that's not going to cost as much money. I'm pretty sure this paper shredder idea I have is going to cost me $0 with the stuff I have, like the tools and pieces and parts that I have around the shop. I think I can build it with what I have on hand. That's not to say that it would be $0 like if you were to do it, because you'd have to have a paper shredder that you are willing to destroy, and stuff like that. So no cost to me, and I think as long as you have a 3D printer, a drill, and a broken paper shredder, it would be no cost to you too. But that's a pretty specific scenario. Do you have a broken paper shredder, a drill, and a 3D printer? I guess you don't need the 3D printer. You could some old plywood or whatever. Basically, just need something for a box for the shredder bit to sit on. I've been thinking about it. I've have like half of the shredder thing designed in my mind. And the only reason it's only at half is because I haven't pulled the case off of the shredder to see what the actual interior workings look like. But all the stuff that's based off the outside, I got that sort of figured out, and I think I've got like a drive mechanism figured out. It's called a chuck. Just gonna chuck it right onto one of the major rods in there and drive them both. I'm sure they're geared to each other. It'll be great. But yeah, I have lots of projects, and they're gonna be fun. But I should probably get those rods soaking and take a nap. Oh God, we went from talking about nuts all the time to rod soaking. I thought rod soaking was more of a Mormon thing. I'm looking around. I wouldn't mind like putting these in a box or something. My God. Are these mayflies? There's like a swarm of little flies out here. I'm outside now, by the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's mayfly season here in a bit.
Alright. I'm going to use this bin. And I'm going to take a rag. So that's not exactly the cleanest of bins. I don't want anyone really grabbing my shit. Where is the rag? There's a rag. My rods. Alright. There we are. A bunch of rods in a dirty ass rag. I'm gonna go spray these with some WD. Where's my WD? It looks like it's from the 80s and I need it. Oh, I know where it is. We were using it yesterday, so it should be out here. Yeah, here it is. Oh, hey, there's another can of WD that looks like it's not from the 80s. Let's use the one that looks like it's from the 80s first. Ooh, can you still hear me? I heard my headphone click.
Yeah.
All
Good.
right. Okay. I kind of wanted to prop them up on the side, but I'm just going to leave them down. Get rotted. So I should clean those off. Coat them up good. If any rust is trying to make its way in here, that should hopefully protect against it. They don't seem like they're too rusty, though. I thought the bunny was coming to visit me. It's just a butterfly. It's so weird. Like, I don't live in the country. I'm city adjacent. The amount of wildlife that lives in my backyard is wild. It's not a huge backyard. Although I've heard from some of my neighbors who live in town, our friends who live in town, that our backyard is actually quite huge. But I think that's just compared to theirs. I know one of them lives on a corner lot, so they just literally do not have a backyard at all. But yeah, supposedly our backyard is. I think it's people like it because it's a chunk of grass and there's a playground, like mini playground equipment there for our kid, and it's all like kind of fenced in on all sides, so it's kind of protected. It's not really fenced on all sides. One side's a tree line, but still mini tree line. I say tree line. Where I used to live, a tree line was like could be miles long. Here, this tree line is like maybe 20 meters long. Has like 15, 20 trees in it. But yeah, I have a nice backyard, I guess. Supposedly. Well, I think we're done for now. We got a while to go. I want those rods to have a good soak, and then I got to scrub them down. So we can't really do anything with those until then. I think I'm ready for a break myself. Might be able to make up a soup. Trying to decide if I try to eat more. That's what made me sick. Is I ate something the other day and it did not agree. A lot of things I eat don't agree with me because of my stomach being stupid. But I ate something. I ate some butter chicken. Oh, it was so good though. It tasted good, but yeah, it just fucked my stomach up. It's not like the spice or anything. It's literally just putting things in my stomach. I still, honestly, I eat I eat a lot of soups now, just because it's easy for me to digest. And some of the soups I eat are ridiculously spicy. Like right now, I like this Thai um, tomato coconut, and I load that tomato coconut up with like a bunch of extra like pepper and stuff to make it extra hot, and uh, and that's fine, you know, that's just fine. But fucking eat one piece of chicken and it's the end of the friggin' world. Just white, bland, broiled chicken, just a tiny piece of it. And my stomach's like, yeah, we're done for a day. Like, what do you mean we're done for a day? Eat the chicken, stomach!
Yeah, that doesn't sound like
Skynet?
good stuff. That sounds like salmonella poison.
No, it's just, it doesn't, it could be any chicken, you know what I mean? Yeah, food poisoning puts you down for a little harder. Food poisoning is a day of vomiting, yes, but you're also shitting at the same time. Shitometing. You're
Yeah,
you're going both ends. If you have food poisoning, you need a bucket because your toilet is busy. Food poisoning sucks, and it can last like a long time depending on how bad you put yourself down. My issue on my issue lasts as long as the chicken is in my stomach, which unfortunately it's not going the right way, so it has to be evacuated, which sucks. But yeah, if I ever have the situation where I can't eat food, I know the reason now is that there's something in there that for some reason I won't digest, and it needs to get out, which really sucks. It is not comfortable. But yeah, as long as I generally eat softer stuff, and it seems like I just have to avoid all types of meat, I probably, because I guess it's fibrous and harder to digest. I don't know. Fuck, fuck if chicken hasn't done this to me twice now in a big way. And then there was one time I got I was like, oh man, there's beef jerky. I want some beef jerky. And I was stupid and I ate some beef jerky and that did it too. I might have to become a vegetarian.
at
Not
least
out
it's
of
not a vegan, right?
well, not out of choice.
Hmm. Can you still do cheese?
Yeah, usually. Not a lot of it, but yeah. Generally I chew all my food really well now. I am eating some solid stuff, but I generally chew all my food really, really well. I've been eating some cheeses, some nuts, some fruits. That's been going okay so far. Again, chewing it very well, but yeah. Try to basically get half the digestion done before it hits my stomach.
Yeah.
What else have I eaten that's solid that worked? I need to try rice on its own because I was doing rice with the chicken, and that part seemed to be working. I wonder if I just had not eaten the chicken and just eaten the butter chicken sauce and the rice, if that would have worked. Because that was good fucking chicken. As much as it hurt. That's the problem, is I really love food. I keep hurting myself by like going too fast too quickly with like too much, with rich or fibrous food. It's a bummer. Stupid stomach. Everything else seems good though. It's just the top end that's fucked up. If I can get my stomach figured out, the rest of the whole system seems to be running smoothly. I miss food. See, look, run the wiring is at the end. Like, why not say, like, install the electrical? Like, all of it. Like, why would you install? Yeah, at least it says controller board and PSU, install those at the end. But we have already, like, we installed the front plate, like, we didn't install it. According to the instructions, the front plate gets installed pretty early. A lot of stuff gets installed. Oh, I did say we'd do that. Let me see if I can find the part. Oh, should be one in here. There it is. Oh, this is the one I didn't want. I don't know where the other one is. Is the other one on the counter? Oh, there it is. Oh, and there's the other foot we couldn't find too. I find a bunch of things that went missing. Do I need to drill this? Fuck, no, I don't need to drill that. That I might need to drill. Let's see how we go. There, get over there. So we have this part. There, didn't have to drill it. This is a wire holder. It's going to go on the back. We don't have to measure it or worry about it too much. Just kind of needs to be around in the middle. Whoop. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have another soup. I didn't eat all day. I'm still kind of hungry. Like I said, I slammed down one of those tomato coconut Thai. According to the picture, they put it out to the side on the top rail. Interesting. So they put it like that in the picture. Well, I think I have the wrong bit. I think I have the wrong Allen key. Yeah, I do. feel that's on there. And I think there's supposed to be like a little M5 situation going on here that I'm supposed to be hooking up to this. Some sort of wire holder that supposedly comes with, I'm assuming, newer models of the AA, because I do not have the little thing that screws onto this. When I first saw this, I assumed that you just put a zip tie through the hole, because it said the AA wire holder thing, and it's like mine came with zip ties, so I just assumed it was built for zip ties. But I think there's actually a little wire holder that you're supposed to be able to screw onto that. So I'll look online and see if I can find one. See what they're talking about. Otherwise, I'll just put a zip tie through that. That'll work too. And right here is where we're going to put our Plogon plate. Oh, I keep hitting the A mono price with my knee because I moved it over to kind of give myself space to work, but now it's over there. Let's look at the Plogon plate as our final tang before I shut this down. The rods are soaking. The wire holder is attached to the printer. It's looking good. Let's take a look at this. We have to print this still, but there it is. That's the Plogon plate as I think it should be. Obviously, there'll be button screws on this area here. So whether you see holes, imagine button screws that go almost to the edge here, but not quite. Plogon. And that plate is wide enough that it's going to take up a large portion of the entire horizontal bar at the top. Like a lot of it's going to end up getting covered in this, which is fine by me. I like having a nice big predominant nameplate on it. We had looked at doing lowercase Plogons. And I mean, like, that looked cool and everything. But I think this big chonky boy is way better. I did like the way the G came out of the bottom and the chamfer continued kind of through it, but didn't break it. I thought that was cool. But, nah. Yeah, this one was also going to be like slide in, which would be cool. I was playing around with some other stuff there. But it was going to make it harder to print, which is why I had this kind of set up. Because my thought was we could slice it down the middle and print this front part and then this part, and then I don't have quite as much support to deal with. So if I print this face up with this Plogon facing up on the bed, all this has to be supported, and that's a lot. So I was thinking about slicing it. But this one, way easier. We just use some T-nuts, the friggin' button heads bolts, and we just plomp it on like we did every other part. I think it looks nicer too. It's got the chamfer going all the way around. That's getting on there. That's going to be slapped right on the front of the printer. I think it looks good. I got to get it sliced and printed which means it's not a huge priority right now because it's not like we can add it after the fact and it's not going to be a problem. So at the moment, I'm just kind of sitting on the Plogon plate just because the other printer, it's the one I'm going to print it on is that one, and I've kind of disconnected it and pushed it to the back. And clearly, after printing that drill guide that we printed, I need to do a little configuration. I need to maybe level the bed and make sure the belts and everything are all properly tensioned because it did a little bit of like layer wonkiness. I'm not gonna say it didn't do a full-on layer shift on me, but it wonked out a bit. I There's a couple things that could have caused it that aren't related to like a bad bed setup or bad um, belts. Like literally a bunch of shit fell on the printer while it was printing, and there was a lot of tension on the filament while it was printing. Like a lot of tension was on the filament, way more than should have been. Uh, if it was a like part that was for looks, I would have reprinted it, but it was a functional guide and it worked well enough. But yeah, it definitely like went off by like 0.1 millimeter or maybe 0.2 millimeters, enough that you could see that it shifted a little bit, but not enough that I would call it a full-on layer shift. So still, I want to look at it and I want to be sure that the printer is 100% before we print anything big on it. And this Plogon plate is fucking huge. So I want to do some maintenance on the printer, which means I'll be pulling the printer away from the wall, and it will be taking up a lot more room on the workbench. Uh, so we'll finish the construction first, and then we'll put that printer back into service. Hopefully, unless there's something we absolutely have to print, and then at that point, well, I got to pull that printer out, level the bed, check the nozzle, and hope for the best. I'm gonna fuck off. I'm done. Thank you everybody for coming and watching. Thank you to all the supporter type people who have helped me do this. This has been ridiculously expensive, and I appreciate your money. Special shout outs to the patrons and the subs, and I will see you guys all later. Bye bye.